Hello, everybody. This is Todd with Duct Tape Hanger. Today is Thursday, January 22nd, and we're going to start balancing this Glasair. I got my spinner done, and we're getting ready to see how she comes out. So we are going to look at uh, everything we need to do to get it ready. Right now, I just have the receiver and a battery laying in here. I don't know where anything is going to be locked in yet. I did have to pull the dash out, which is no big deal. Pulled that out of the way because Glasair or Byron's do things a little different on their balancing. So I had to have a bushing made by my friend Gary. Let's see here on the spacer, he made that bushing. So prop bolt won't have any slop. So he made that for me. With the Quadra 42, I'm going to be running a Zinger 1810. Usually you run a little bigger prop than that on a 42, usually like a 20 by 8 or 20 by 610, something like that. But I want some more RPMs and I want some more speed. So we're going to go with the 1810 on it. So first thing we're going to do, go ahead and put the prop and the spinner on here. Get that buttoned up. And we'll get her in a nice spot to hand prop her here. And let's see what we got here. That's actually not too bad. I like to have it pretty close to 2 o'clock. Like I say, that's about 3. You always want to make sure your hand, oh, no, that answers that. But you always want to make sure your hand is out of the way. So you don't get your hand caught into it while you're spinning it over on the back side of the flip. So let's go ahead and tighten this up. See where we're at here. Still down. So we're just going to loosen this up a hair. And slide that up here. And we'll take a look at it here. Yeah, it's a little higher. But that gets you, when you flip it, your hand is completely out of the way. I'm sure I'll be using a spinner on it, or a starter on it the first couple times. But that'll be close enough. So let's crank that tight. Now the spinner, I'm probably going to have to cut down this bolt. I bought a whole bunch of these a while back ago. They're 832s. Bought these on Amazon. They're pretty standard for most American, the old American, and yeah, this thing's going to be 3 miles too long. So what we do is we just tape that. There, she bottomed out. So I can measure this. You can see how much bolt is sticking out. We're going to measure that. So we're looking at about an 1.5 inches. We're going to go just a hair more what it is. So that's out there at the tip. That's 1.5 inches. We might even cut 1 5/8 inches off of it because it threaded in quite a bit. So let's go that. Unthread that back out. And we're going to mark it. I cleaned up the table. Now I can't find anything. Let me find a marker. I'm going to have to mark at it 1 5/8 inches. All right. I remember I put everything where it mattered, where I could remember where it was at. So we're going to go right here off the base. And we're going to take 1 5/8 inches off this bolt. So we're going to be about right in there. Then we'll take our Dremel and our cutting wheel and we'll cut that right off of there. So let's go over here. And I'll show you how I do this. pause it here a second. All right, so I got my cutting wheel on, got my bolt, and then what I'll do, let's see here, I'm going to bring you guys down here where you can see a little better. Let me get it down here towards the table. You can see what I'm doing. Get my cheater glasses on here so I can see what I am doing. I'm going to hold it by the threads over here that don't matter. Then, like I say, make sure you wear your safety and eye protection. I'm probably just going to do that to steady my hand. I'll turn this around where it's easier to get my hands in here, like this. Okay, I'm going to set that down. Then, the main thing is we're going to have some burrs on here. And this is where I do this. See, it's a lot smoother now. Let's go ahead and right. Now, we're going to check it and make sure it still threads in. Make sure it starts just fine here. We always got to make sure you take those burrs off or it will not start. She's a little warm down there on the end. There she goes. No problem. All right. This, I think, is a 2.5 millimeter. Let me grab a wrench over here. Let's see, is that it? It's a 2 millimeter, I think. Nope. Thought I had the, maybe is it standard? It's not that one. Let's see here. Thought I knew what I was doing, but it's been a while since I've used one of these bolts. Ah, there she is, I think. Let's take a look here. Is that it? Yep. It's actually a 3/32. So that would be what, almost 440? All right. I'm going to slide that back through there. Get that in the center. And I bought a ton of these when I bought a big box of these. And they've came in handy. Hopefully, I cut enough off of it. Looks like I did. Oh yeah. Looks like I did. All right. There she is. Ooh, boy, did I get that tolerance tight when I made that mount. Now, it does look like it's up a little bit, but it's going to be close enough. But yeah, look at that tolerance. I got her nice and tight. Okay, now Byron, they do things different on balancing. Now, the guy I got this from did not fly it the way it was balanced originally. He did these lines on the fuselage here, and I think that's how he balanced it, but that's not how Byron's plans tell you to balance it. So I'm going to balance it the way Byron originally designed. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there is a tiny dimple in the fiberglass right there. Let's see if I can get you in the light just right or something here. Yeah, I can't really see it in here. Yeah, there you can see it, but it's right there. And you take a 16th inch bit and you drill that one, and there's one on the other side. Then what you do is you run a wire through it, and that's how you balance it. Well, they just ran the lines down here and balanced it that way. But I want it done the way Byron intended, so that's how I'm going to do it. So what I do is I take a 16th inch bit. I don't have rod, flying wire. I don't, or music wire, 16th inch. So what I use is fishing line. That I do have. And this is how I've done all of mine so far. Now, this is only 15-pound filament, monofilament. It's Zebco Omniflexes. But anyway, this is what I use. I've balanced quite a few models with it, with Byron's setup. I did all my GBs, my GB. I'm going to be doing the other GBs the same way because it worked well. And I know this is going to be extremely nose heavy. When I was tearing it apart, this is the battery pack I found in the back. Now, this is what it was with that Super Tiger. I'm probably going to have to put that back in there. As far back as I can reach, there's a big long strip of Velcro. I'll probably put it back there as far as I can because it's gonna need the balance. So let's go ahead. And I'm going to pop these holes here. There is one dimple. One dimple right there. Now I know you can see it. And where is the other one? Right here. That's why I had to pull the dash out to balance this. So the hardest part is actually getting the fishing line through it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it because I know what kind of adventure this is every time I try to do it. So I'll pause it. I'll get this fishing line through it, and then you'll see what I'm doing. All right. All right, that actually went way easier than it did on the GB. I had to fight it to get it in there. So I'm going to bring this up and leave this back here. Well, I play with some balance. So we're going to bring this up a little bit. And you're going to see this is going to be extremely nose heavy. So with that through there, and this through here, then you pick the airplane up. Usually wrap it around my hands a little bit. You're going to hear this really stretch. Ooh, you know what? I don't like the feel of that. So we are going to use, I have an old junk prop over here. I bought this at a swap, and I didn't pay any attention to it. But I got it with a whole bunch of other props. If you buy used props, always take a chance or take a second and measure it. Obviously, these tips have been cut. Well, they cut them different lengths. So I wrote junk right on it so I don't accidentally use it. But I got this with a whole bunch of other props, so be it. So we're going to wrap this around here like so. We're going to take this one, wrap it around there like so. Just set that down there because we're going to put all this line back on there. So, oh, come on, quit slipping. So, let's see what we got. Yep, you can see she's extremely nose heavy. So, we didn't even get the nose off the ground. So, we're going to take this, and I figured I was going to have to. There's a piece of foam in here, and we're going to go back as far as possible. And it feels like I can go back there quite a ways. They're not foam, there's Velcro. So I'm going to take this back as far as I can. And there she is. And we still might have to add more tail weight. So with as little throws as this thing has, we definitely want to make sure balance is good. So woo! Oops, falling off the table here. So that tells me she's still nose heavy. Let's bring this down here a little farther. This is a wire string oh, come on now. Let's get this a little closer here. Oh yeah, we're closer, but she's definitely still nose heavy. So I've got some stick-on weight on order, so at least we'll figure out what we need. So let's grab a few pieces that have not been used, and I have a feeling it's going to take every bit that I got here. I have a feeling even with that Super Tiger, because they don't weigh that much different, that this thing was always been extremely nose heavy. So we're going to add, let's see, there's two, a little over about 2.5 ounces. So there's, because there's one, about two and 3/4 ounces back there, which I think it's going to take way more than that. Well, let's just get an idea here. Oop, I want my thumb over that. Yep. Woo. Yeah, I'm surprised this thing flew as well as it did, the way he had that set up, because there is no way that was even close before. I have a feeling when he chopped the power, she dropped like a ton of bricks. So we are going to be adding a lot of weight to her. A lot. This is, let's see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 3 ounces. So I'm going to take that off of there. Is this one the same length? Yeah, we're going to take these off. And we've got 6 ounces back there now. And when I get my weight, I'll stick it to the fuselage. Yeah, there's plenty of room underneath the stab. So, and I'll also, once I get done with this part and I get it pretty well balanced, I'll slide the wings on and show you there's no real difference in weight, because I've had some discussions with guys about that. It's a little tail heavy. We're getting close. Getting closer. So we're going to take one of these 3s off, and we're going to put 2. So we took 1 ounce off. I want that tail pretty level, a little, just a hair high will be fine. All right, let's see what we got. And that can happen too. Picking up a 20-pound airplane with 15-pound filament, you might break it. So yeah, snap that, but we're getting close. I'm all out of my 25. That's what I used to use. 25-pound filament. I'm gonna have to cut this crap off. All right, let me get this rethreaded and I'll bring you guys back. All right, I got her threaded back through. And yeah, I probably need to go up to like 25 or 30-pound test. I've just had this all out of it. I haven't fished in a few years either, so I don't have any real supplies anymore. I used to fish all the time, and I just don't have it. So we're just going to do this. All right. We're just going to pick her up. I like it. Might even take a couple little squares off of there. Might take another 1/2 ounce off, but that's getting us very close. Let's take another 1/2 off of there. Actually, let's take a full ounce because that's probably pretty close. I want that tail to come up a little more. Let's try it again. This would be easier with a dowel rod too, instead of an old prop trying to hold it. Hey, that looks better. All right, set her down. I could probably even take another 1/2, just bring that tail up a little more, but I think that'll do the job. All right, I'm gonna slide the wings on and show you guys that the wings really don't make much difference in the balance. They're gonna be pretty centered. Really doesn't make that much difference. Let me slide them on there. And now it might snap my line a little quicker because I only have I'm adding a couple more pounds. But oh, man, the landing gear is just a hair too wide. All right, what do we got here? What is going on here? Come on, Byron. Don't give me fits now. I'm trying to put the wing on here. There we go. That'd be close enough. All right, get around it. Hopefully I got enough room here. If not, I can slide the table, I guess. And of course, so let's move this back a little bit. Okay. All right, wings are on. Let's pull this up. Hopefully this don't snap us again. Get this centered up here a little better on the table. That gear is about a 1/2 inch too wide. Yep, just like that. All right. Add a couple loops here. All right, here we go. No, I don't like how high this is. I'm going to keep this down here. There we go. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I'm tired of dicking with that. But you get the point. Now, he does have indentations down here. Oh, I can't get my hands under it now. Where that balance point was. Yeah, I can't even feel it on this side. Yeah, it was. Yeah, anyway. But I'm not going to thread that up again. But anyway, I know they're going to be fine. So we're pretty much where we want to be. Like I say, I might take another 1/2 ounce off just to be a little safe. I'd rather have it a hair nose heavy. And I can always adjust that after I'm done. But there we are. I think she's going to be all right. Oh, you know what? Let's get to scale. I have a feeling she's going to weigh about 25 pounds, which is pretty substantial. She's not going to be light by any means. Let me get the scale ready and that, and then I'll bring you guys in. All right, let's get this turned on. I'm going to get back here behind it. Let's pick her up. Oh, not bad. So we're going to add 5 ounces to that because that's what was on the tail. So about 23 pounds. So about what, close to what I expected. So 23 pounds to finish her up. That's a little on the heavy side, but it is a Byron. Byrons wouldn't be Byrons if they weren't heavy. So makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me that that's a typical Byron thing, that they advertise like 18 pounds and they always come out heavy. Only other thing I really got to do to this is put the weight on it. I'm going to make a note that it's 5 ounces. And I got to put a fuel dot on this side yet. Other than that, she's going to be pretty much ready to put the cockpit back in it, put the window back in it, you know, that kind of stuff. And she's ready to rock and roll. She'll be ready for the season. So that's going to be one more for the test flights this year. Definitely going to be working on the Ryan and that next, and the stagger wing. So going to have quite a few Byrons this season. She's going to be pretty interesting. Oh, I know something I want to check. I'm going to check those lines and see if it balances the same way. So we had 5 ounces on the tail, and I'm going to put those back here. I got to slide the battery back because it fell forward when I picked it up. So let me do that, and I'm going to check it with those lines just to see if it worked the same way, because that's how he balanced it, and I want to see if it works the same as the as that. If it did, then that's great, but I really didn't think it would, because it's kind of the wrong way to balance one of these planes. But he's got 2 little indentations. Let's see if I can do this without getting my gut and stuff in the way. An indentation here and one here. Yeah, see, it don't even balance close to the same way. That's exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought. Can't use that line. Got to use it the way they did it. Got to use it the way they did it. So that makes perfect sense. I wanted to debunk that. Maybe if I flip it over and try that, which I could try, which I can try. Let me get that battery secure. I'll put it on a rack. We'll flip it over, put that weight on the other side, and I'll pick it up on top of here and see how it does. See if that works the same. I just want to see if that theory works or not. So let me bring it back in here. Okay, I got her this way. I'm going to set the 5 ounces on the tail. So that way you can see that. And the other 2 here. All right, I want to pick it up by these lines and see if it still balances right. There and there. And yeah, it's pretty close. Ooh, shows a little tail down. Right there. That's pretty close. So actually that line isn't bad. If you want to do it that way. Just going to slide another half off of there. Just in case, which I thought about anyway. And here and here. Ugh. Now what the heck here? Here and here. Yeah, see, I don't think that balances the same as the top. Doing it at the top. I'm going to look back at the video and see how it laid when I pulled that up to make sure it was a little tail down. But I don't like the way that's balancing like that. I really don't think their instructions. I think if their instructions would have told you, hey, you can move that line, you know, you can move this pinpoint down here and do it, that it'll be the same. And I really don't think it is. I don't think that's how it works. I'm just, you know, going off of what I think is right. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll give her a whirl here. I'm going to go ahead and I gotta order some weights. I don't remember if I ordered them. I got to look at my Amazon, see if I ordered them or I need to order them. But because I'm going to need a bunch of it for that twister. I started to mess with that twister and it was way off. It's so nose heavy, it's terrible. So we'll see. We'll see what we got here. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. I'm going to pretty much consider this one pretty well done. I'm going to go back and watch it and see how it looks when I picked it up the last time and see what I think. Maybe I'll make an update if I change anything. But I think she's pretty much ready to go. After many, many years of sitting, I think she's going to be ready to fly again this summer. And I'm going to have a blast with it. So, all right, guys, that'll be it for the Glasair. Next video should be of it flying. So, all right, guys, take her easy, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, guys, I am going to make a little update here. I got all this stuff in here, and got the little floor in there, which really, it just kind of Velcros in there. It's what came with it. I ended up putting a receiver right over here in the corner. You can see it standing there, and the satellite up here on the dash. All the wires are out of the way this way. You can see the wire running through there. That goes back to the battery, which is, it's underneath everything. It ain't going to get any problems there. Got all the screws in it. Got the canopy back on. I am going to go with just one strip of 4 ounces. I looked at the video again, and it was still a little bit tail down. Yeah, these are 1/4 ounce. These are, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, they're 1/4 ounce. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would give me, yeah, that'd give me, oh, that'd actually be 3 ounces. 3 ounces of weight. So that actually looked pretty good. I did move, and I think part of that was the last time I put my battery back farther too, instead of just sitting up here up front. And I think that made a difference in the weight as well. But we're pretty much buttoned up. I'm going to go ahead and put that weight on. I'm going to order it in, get that done today, and that way I can get that coming in. I put my fuel dot in her as well. I actually need to maybe hone that out a little more. I need that to sit in there a little better because it's just big enough for the line, but it ain't gonna hurt anything at this point. It's not going anywhere. But anyway, she's all done, buttoned up, and other than adding that weight. So I am gonna go to, that's gonna be a 3 ounce strip. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So yep, we're gonna put 3 ounces on there. I can only put 2.5 with the others, so that way that's my difference in weight. So I think that'll get me pretty well buttoned up. I want to be a hair nose heavy, so at least to start with, just to be safe. I don't want any bad snapping characteristics or anything out of it. But she is one beautiful airplane. She's showing her age. I don't mind it. Her little bumps and bruises, dings and dents, she's earned them. All the little paint chips. This thing is, 35 years old at least. She has earned them, and I like it. I don't mind it. What you warbird guys can call that weathering. That's natural weathering over all these years. But maybe in the future, I might do a full restoration. Sand it all down, repaint it. Obviously, I won't have those stripe kit unless I order it from Cali, which she could do. But I think it would look beautiful, all bright white again with the stripes and stuff on it. But she is still surviving after all these years. So she is converted. We're looking at about 22 pounds, 11 ounces, ready to go. The advertisement says it should weigh between 18 to 19 pounds. 3 pounds over, pretty standard for Byron. It's just the way they do things. Byron was never very accurate in her ads, and it still lives up to it. So there she is, guys. 35 years in the making and still going. So let's make her proud. It's probably actually pushing close to 40 years old, honestly. So let's get her up in the air where she belongs, and let's fly the hell out of this thing and have some fun. So hope you guys in the area. I'm hoping to get it to some of your events. I hope she does well and stays around, and I don't hurt it, and I just fly the hell out of it this season. So all right, guys, we'll catch you later, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.